Hi guys! So the first thing I'm doing is just moisturizing my hair, and then I'm detangling with a paddle brush. You can clearly tell my hair from the extensions. Next, I am just adding a little bit more moisturizer to my edges, and I'm dragging that all the way down the extensions so that they can be moisturized as well. And of course, you can't forget about your back leave out. Now I have a two-part sew-in, and that is when you have the option of parting your hair two different ways. So I chose a left side part and a middle part. And I'm using the peach perm rods, and I'm just separating a small section of hair from the back of my leave out. I'm detangling with the comb, and then I'm using the Eco Styler gel, and this has argon in it, so I'm just putting that on my hair and then detangling further. And now I am just wrapping the hair around the rod as tight as I can so that the curl comes out as smooth and frizz-free as possible. Securing the end and tying it, and that is the first rod placement. Now the rest of my hair got a little dry, so I just got a spray bottle with a little water in it, and I'm just wetting it to dampen it just a little bit, adding the argan oil, detangling, and now I'm adding the rod. I had to give you a slow-mo so you can kind of see how I'm wrapping it. I actually follow the hair with my hand. I know you can't really see, but you see that my hair is following, my hand is following the hair down as I wrap it, just so that it's tight and as secure as possible. And now I'm going to secure the end of that, if I can get it. And that is what they should look like. So now this is an example of how you actually get your hair to blend with the extension hair. So I do the same thing with my natural hair. Spray a little water, put argan gel on it, detangle, and I'm adding the Iso Plus foam wrap to the extension hair. Just dragging that down. And now I'm going to detangle it all together. And now I'm wrapping the rod around both my hair and the extension hair. And this is pretty much the key to how you get your hair to blend with the extension hair. This way you won't know where one piece of hair begins and one piece of hair ends. You won't be able to tell the difference. So sometimes the ends don't like to stay down, so what I do for that is take just a little bit of the gel and I add that to the end, and usually that will make the ends stay, and I just secure it. So my edges, as you can see, are not laid, so I am taking the same gel and putting that on my edges, and I just have a stretchy scarf that I can tie really tightly. So I'm just getting the gel all good on the edges and everything, because I'm trying to have those things laid. So I'm taking my comb just to make sure that they are as smooth as possible. And now I'm just wrapping the scarf around it, being sure to keep the hair out of the way because I am still rotting the hair. So I just tie it as tight as my little head can stand it. Don't squeeze your brains out though, trying to get some laid edges. Okay, so now I am at the top of my leave out, so I'm just doing a middle part right here, making sure my part is straight. And I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it the way I just showed you guys. So that is what it should look like when you are all done riding. And now I'm going to sleep. Good night, guys. Hello, it is 2 days later, and I am finally deciding to take these rods out because they should be good and dry now. So I'm taking the first rod out. And it's very springy, and I actually like that. I like it. And it looks really, really smooth. It's not frizzy or anything like that. Now I'm pretty much all done taking them out. And I'm taking that scarf off. And my edges are successfully laid, but they are itchy. Okay, now I'm just taking a little bit of oil on my fingers so that I can separate the hair. And yes, I see there is actually still a rod in my hair, and I did notice that later, and I did take it out, and I did not walk around all day with the rod stuck in my hair, guys. So I'm just separating to my liking. I don't mind frizz, so yeah, it's fine. I'm separating. The smaller pieces you separate is like the more frizz you'll get. But if you separate in larger pieces, you won't get as much frizz. but I'm separating in very, very small pieces just because I like big hair. And I pretty much like this method because it's rather easy to disguise the tracks. You know, whether you have a sew-in or however you applied the hair, however you installed the hair, it's easy to make it look natural, you know. So this is the top. I'm just separating further, making sure that the tracks are covered. And that one's not, but I promise when I finish it will be covered. So there is discord and disharmony right there in my hair. So I just figured that I would take a blow dryer and kind of stretch it just to make it a little more smooth, you know what I'm saying? So it won't be a line of demarcation. So I just decided that I would go ahead and stretch as much as I could to not only make it look kind of just a little more round, you know what I mean? But also make it longer kind of in the back. So I'm taking my comb and I am combing that gel out just a little bit so it won't look so harsh, so I can have softer laid edges. And I'm gonna go in and fix my part so that it is straight. And that is what it should look like for now. But I'm actually adding the Hicks edges because I want mine to be even more laid. Of course. So I'm just adding that to my part. But you really can go out like this as is before the Hicks edges or whatever kind of edge control you may use. You actually can go out like that because it looks natural. It looks like it's growing out of your scalp and all of that goodness. Well, that part actually is growing out of my scalp, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So that's it, guys. But of course, I didn't like the middle part, so I chose to do a side part. The beauty about this two-part sew-in is that you don't actually have to wear the part. You know, you don't have one part. You have the option of doing a couple different parts. So I didn't like the middle part, and I just said I want to go ahead and do a side part. But what I would recommend, if you do think that, you know, you're not going to end up having a middle part, if you do happen to have a 2 or 3 part sew-in, it would be best to rod as I did from the middle part because it would be harder. Okay, I'm sorry. I have bobby pins right here. Gotta pin it. But it would be harder to go from a side part, you know, where you rodded a side part, to go to a middle part. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but I hope that that was clear. Like, it's harder to rod for a side part and then choose that middle part than it is to go ahead and ride for a middle part and then choose a side part, as I just did. Only because the middle won't be smooth and it won't be laid. So that's the beauty in this sew-in. So now I'm just playing with it and fluffing it. And I talked too much, so kind of missed where I pulled out the bobby pins, but I have those. I needed to pin that piece so that it stays. And of course, I'm further separating. You really, at this point, you're just playing with it to get it the way you want it to be. And that is it. That is my side part. And I am loving it. And I hope you are too. Thanks for watching. Bye.